Hey everyone, Luna here with this week's YouTube Pagan Challenge. This week's question is, how do you feel about group work and worship? Um, is it something that we've tried? Is it something we want to do? Is it something we do on a regular basis? And how do we compare it to being solitary? I've been fortunate enough to work both in a group and as a solitary. In the beginning of my practice, group work was the only way I did practice, mostly because I was learning and I felt more comfortable learning with other people. In middle school, we just were when I first started learning, we just kind of did little meditation work and dream walking, trance work, things like that, things that were easier done with another person. We didn't go too much into the craft because we had just started, and my life exploded that year anyway, so I didn't get back into it until high school. In high school, we started what we called the Coven of the Fluffy Bunny, and it was because we were pretty much newbies. We were noobs, and we did what we called our Harry Potter time, where we would get all of our books, because we were mostly in drama club. So in between when school ended and drama club started, we have plenty of time to just hang out. And that's usually what we did. Was we had drama club and we would hang out and we'd just chill. But the ones who did the Harry Potter time, it was where we would take all of our books out, and our books of shadows and our books of mirrors, and we'd sit there and write either information or experiences that we were having, or dream work, things like just all of our stuff that pertained to our path, we did at that time. And every once in a while we'd get together and do a ritual for a Sabbath or a spell work or something. One year, just for shits and giggles, we were at the local theater, not movie theater, dramatic theater, Vive les Arts, or as we say, Vive les Arts. And it was a field trip, so most of drama club actually was pagan at the time. I don't know if any of them still are, but the majority of us were pagan, or pagan leaning. And for shits and giggles, we gave an offering to the goddess Concretia, which was the pavement, and I don't even remember what it was, but it was absolute ridiculosity. Another day, we did tribal music. One year, what else? What else did we do? And this is, again, I say the Coven of the Fluffy Bunny. What else did we do? Oh, we took a stride into chaos magic, and I believe one of the chants was watermelon coconut? Like watermelon coconut, watermelon coconut, watermelon coconut. I'm not quite sure what was going on. It was chaos magic. It was supposed to be chaotic. No, it was watermelon cantaloupe. There we go. Watermelon cantaloupe. We were just chanting that for... I don't remember much of it. I don't remember much of my high school years, actually, for reasons. My first circle was in high school as well. It was when I first did a Beltane ritual in an open circle, 4-hood open circle, which is still active today. And that was back in 2002, and they're still active today. That was like the best experience I ever had. One of the best experiences I've ever had. incredibly enjoyed. The energy was just fantastic. The people were fantastic. The activities were fantastic. I had a great experience with an open circle. I've never been a part of a coven. And the reason why I've never been a part of the coven is that I do not like rules. For lack of a better term, it's not exactly that. I do like some rules, but I don't like being told how I should practice and which way is the right way to practice. And, I know some people who are in covens, in actual covens, where there's a hierarchy and everything, or hierarchy. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Again, English is my second language. Something bit me. And so I've never been a part of the coven. I guess it's also because I just haven't had the opportunity. I'm sure that if it was something that I subscribed to, that I would be okay with it. I have been parts of circles. Like I said, I was part of Fort Hood's open circle when I was in high school. When I lived in Iowa, there was a semi-local. We lived about a half hour away from Omaha. So I say semi-local. It was about a half hour, like I said, Omaha, Nebraska. So I had to cross state lines frequently. But a couple of us did live in Iowa. It was called Sage Circle, and they are like family. The circle is now defunct, but we're still all very close friends. I still talk to Rachel and Mary and Dina, and Mary was pretty much where I lived, because when I lived in Iowa, we lived in a really small town in the middle of freaking nowhere, and it was right next to a river, and the river would flood after the snow would melt. And of course, it's the freaking Midwest, so we would be snowed out sometimes, wouldn't be able to get home. So we lived with Mary a lot. We would stay at Mary's house a lot. So it was like a family. Dina ended up moving further away, so she kept in touch with us via media, social media, and email. But working with them was absolutely wonderful. Like I said, we enjoyed ourselves, and since it was a circle and not a coven, we had the founders who were usually in charge, but when it came to decision making, it was a democracy. Everyone was asked their opinion. Everyone had a chance to voice any concerns. So it wasn't like a coven, but it was still group work, and I still enjoyed myself. We still had a lot of time, and even after people moved or moved on, Mary and I, since I was pretty much at her house all the time anyway, Mary and I would do workings together, and I knew she was the one who actually taught me about mudras, and she's a wonderful lady. I love her to pieces. If she's listening right now, I let her know that I love her boobs still, and that I miss her boobies. It was a great experience. I have been fortunate enough that group work has been a good experience for me. I have not experienced any discomfort, and some people do, whether it's because of rules and regulations or how it's run, or people who make you uncomfortable, people who treat you inferiorly. I hope I'm saying that right. People who treat you like, people who take away your power. When I moved back to Texas, I did try to get back into Fort Hood Open Circle, but it just wasn't where I was mentally anymore. It was a great place for me when I was a teenager, but now it isn't. People change over time, and it's not the same people anyway, so it wasn't a group that I wanted to be in. When I lived in Austin, however, and I hope to be more active after I graduate school, is there's a North Austin pagan meetup that meets regularly, and when I was living in Austin, I would actually meet with them, and I was part of the 2013 Pagan Pride Day. I wish I could have partaken in the 2014 and the 2015, but in 2014 I was having issues, and in 2015 I was in school. So, but I kept in touch with them, and they are also very wonderful people. And Tina, who is one of the pagans there, she is just wonderful. She was the one who introduced me on information on Santeria, because she is also Puerto Rican. And she invites us to her house, which is usually just, we do drum circles, we do rituals at her house, we do a bunch of stuff at her house. Her house is like Pagan Central sometimes. And I got to meet a plethora of wonderful pagans and witches and practitioners, and again, wonderful experience. Two of the people that I met ended up creating their own Celtic Grove. It's ADF approved, I think it's what it's called. They're legit is pretty much what they are, is that they are considered a legitimate group. And they're currently in the process of creating a temple in Austin. They're accepting donations and everything. And while they do have the process of a coven, where you have to be a dedicant and then an initiate and then work your way up and everything, I have been fortunate enough to work with them during their dark moon and new moon rituals that they hold, because those are open to the public. So it's an interesting work for me, because I don't practice the Celtic tradition, and they say things that I can't pronounce, but they do help us pronounce them. They do say, okay, this is what this means, and how to say it. Like, we sit there and we practice saying it together as a group, and then he'll say, okay, this is where we'll say it. So he'll say it and we'll repeat it, which I can't remember anything right now. And again, like I said, working with them has been awesome. I've been fortunate enough to work with great people, wonderful people, people that I've become friends with. As a solitary, I enjoy being a solitary. And the reason I enjoy being a solitary is because I practice without judgment, without fear of judgment is more like it, because I practice without judgment, but I have had fear of judgment. And I feel more open when I'm by myself, because I'm more comfortable with myself. So I enjoy solitary work, I enjoy solitary study. However, sometimes solitary study is frustrating when you're trying to find certain information. So I am thankful for this day and age that we have cyber communities, because without having Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or whatever, I wouldn't be able to ask advice or ask for opinions, or I wouldn't be able to bounce off ideas with the wonderful people that I've met online if it did not exist. So while I do enjoy solitary work, I am thankful that we have social media to still be a part of a community, because I do like working with a community. Now, speaking of community, I am now a part of a witchy collab called Wild Witchcraft. I will leave a link below to the channel. We have yet to post a video. We practiced a run last week on Monday. Or I guess this week on Monday, actually. We practiced a run just trying to figure out what the heck we're supposed to do. And again, wonderful experience. Wonderful people. I'm just lucky in that area. I am so blessed in that area. Great people so far. And we will be posting videos every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 Central. I don't know what it is Mountain Time. I'm terrible with time. I just know it's 8 Central because I live in Central. So just wanted to let you know, like I said, I will leave the channel link in the description box. And that's it. So tell me, what do you think about group worship? Is it something you've ever tried? Is it something you want to try? Are you happier being a solitary if you have tried it? Or do you like the sense of community? Just let me know. Give me a shout. Leave a comment. Like, subscribe, please. Anyway, everyone have a great night and brightest blessings.